phobic of fetuses.
Why are you trying to...
You're labeling a whole class of human beings as less than you, and you're judging them, and you're saying because you were born, you have the right to end the life of another human being.
Don't you just love it when woke logic is used against woke people?
First of all, I just wanted to point out, I hate the word fetusphobic, so I'd appreciate if that word was never brought up again for the sake of me and any other person of color or gay person that has ever been harmed, abused, or hurt at any point in time during years and years and years of living.
How is a fetus threatening to a person of color, or to a gay person, or to a woman, or to any other class of oppressed people? These are the most vulnerable sets of human beings because they're still in the womb and they need a lot of support from us. So how exactly are they threatening to you? How are they threatening to your survival? This doesn't make any sense to me.
My question to you is, how are you going to take care of them?
See, the entire premise, though, of what you're saying is that a child in the womb, you are fetus phobic because what you're saying is a human fetus in the womb doesn't have the same rights as someone.
What gender is a fetus? What sexuality is a fetus? What religion is a fetus?
Well, a fetus can be male or female, and that's determined when egg and sperm unite and that DNA code is created.
Fetus for being male or female, that would make me misogynist or misandrist. Saying that I do not think that we should be supporting something that is not born more than people that are already out here in the world does not make me fetus phobic because that's not a thing to use.
You're phobic of fetuses.
Why are you trying to...
You're labeling a whole class of human beings as less than you, and you're judging them, and you're saying because you were born, you have the right to end the life of another human being.
I'm saying that you should allow people that are actually in this world, that have experienced the type of hatred that you are very clearly spreading, to have the same type of love that you are giving to something that has yet to even leave the womb, who has yet to even feel or experience the type of hatred that people out here have.
But you're being discriminatory against a whole class of human beings based on their location.
So
that's what you're doing.
Are you arguing that I am ageist or fetus phobic? Because there is a complete difference. It would be okay for you to say that I'm ageist because I have something against babies, but there is no such thing as being fetus phobic. I have never once heard that, not even in any of the research.
I know, I just made it up tonight. It's really great. No, I mean, your argument is, isn't there something less extreme? Is there anything less extreme that you can think of to end poverty, to end the suffering of those who are in a bad foster care situation, who are waiting for adoptive family? Isn't there anything less extreme you can think of than ending their life?
Okay.
I get very offended though when if you don't know me, you've never had a conversation with me, and you insinuate that the pro-life movement isn't doing enough for children who have been born. We do that every day. All of us should be doing that every single day.
It always gives me joy when woke logic is used against them. And this woman just embodies everything of it. She's just turning their logic against them. She's using all the buzzwords that the woke would use. I'm offended by this. I'm offended by that. Whether or not it makes sense, she just says I'm offended. Everybody is offended by something.
Well, the only difference in the pro-life movement is that we're saying that a child in the womb is also equally deserving of human rights because there's no fundamental difference between the fetus you once were and the person you are today. You are the exact same entity.
I mean, that lady is triggered by the word fetusphobic. But there are all sorts of phobias that the woke uses all the time, and it doesn't trigger them. But this is the one that triggers you. I would say a defenseless human being. In fact, fetuses should be the most protected class of people because they are so dependent on their mother for survival. Without the mother, the fetus is not going to survive. So they need all the support that they can. And if you are a proponent of abortion, then you are fetusphobic. And this is a word that this woman just made up. And it does make sense. If we can have a whole lot of other phobias, then why not fetusphobic? We can definitely call pro-choice people fetusphobic. You're afraid of fetuses, or you hate fetuses. You hate babies. You want to see them dead. So it does make a lot of sense to use woke logic against them. And now she's trying to be the reasonable one. She's trying to be the logical one, that there is no such word as fetusphobic. There's no such word as any phobia. It was all made up to represent something. So I think this is a real word. I think we should start using it against people who are for abortion. You are fetusphobic. So you mean you don't like fetuses? You mean you're fetusphobic? You mean you hate fetuses? That will work very well. And by the way, if you think that childcare is so expensive, how about not getting pregnant in the first place? That's an option. Well, some people may say, well, what if you were raped, or what if it's incest? But I always ask this question: what is the percentage of abortions that are done that is due to rape or incest? I don't know what the statistics are, but I'm willing to bet that those are going to be a very tiny minority. So if it is in the cases of rape and incest, it's understandable. I can make a case for that, but not when someone has involved themselves in consensual sexual intercourse. They get pregnant in the process and they feel they're not ready and they just want to kill the child, and they feel that it's okay, that the child does not have any rights. Those are the sets of people who should be protected the most, because they are the most vulnerable people. Fetuses in the wombs are the most vulnerable people. What if your parent decided to abort you while you were in the womb? You wouldn't be born today. So some people might say viability, that the fetus is not viable, so therefore nothing is viable without support. Nothing is viable without support. Even a full-grown human being is not viable without support. If you're locked in a room without food, you are not going to survive after many days. If you are locked in a room without water, you're not going to survive. Are you viable on your own then? Without clothes, are you viable? We all need things that are external to us to survive. So is the fetus. It's the same thing. It's the same logic. A baby who is born today is not viable if it's not taken care of. A 2-year-old child is not viable if it's not taken care of. So the argument of viability goes out the window. Are you going to tell me that once you give birth to the child can now take care of itself? The child is now able to survive on its own? How do you measure viability? Everything is potential. Life is potential. And if you're actively acting against that potential, then it is bad. If you're doing something actively against potential, then it is bad. Everything is potential. The fetus has a potential of becoming a baby at term. The baby at term has the potential of being born. A baby that is born has the potential of growing to be 1 year old. A baby that's 1 year old has the potential of being 2 years old. Everything is potential. Our lives currently is potential. There is no guarantee that you will see tomorrow. It is all potential. Nothing is ever guaranteed, but because something is not guaranteed, does that mean that you should just end it, that it doesn't matter? So yeah, I support this woman who coined the term fetusphobic, and I think it's a term that we should start using henceforth for people that don't like babies. Pro-choice people, they are fetusphobic. My new favorite term, fetusphobic. So that's the video. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, remain awesome.